Last round, after which we will throw it open to questions.
Well, my first novel is about a boy from Bombay visiting Calcutta,
Right.
Strange in Sublime Address. So the novel came out, I think I finished writing it in 1988. And given its peculiar structure, like it was a very short novel, and then again it had no plot to speak of. So one of the things I was trying to explore through the novel was ways of seeing things, seeing what was familiar and looking at it again in lieu of plot. I was exploring a space in which such a way of seeing might be possible. So given that structure, given the brevity, again it was important for me to write a compressed kind of account, which was at once spacious. So given that, it took a while to find a publisher. So I finished it probably in 1988. It was published in 1999. I think I had to wait a couple of years before I had a contract. And the other thing that had happened by that time is that there was an expectation of the Indian novel to somehow take on board India. And that expectation was to a certain extent created by Midnight's Children. And I've talked about these things before. I talked about them because I found myself in this anomalous position vis-a-vis this tradition. And the anomalous position was also had something to do with, I think, deciding to write about a city and write about Calcutta and write about a particular neighborhood in Calcutta and not bother about the rest. So that became a kind of starting point for a route that I would take through Calcutta, but through the novel as well. And so that continues, that exploration of writing about ways of looking rather than story, and writing about not the nation but about maybe a street. But I did write a non-fiction book about Calcutta, which I was first resistant to writing, called Calcutta 2 Years in the City. And I wrote that to address what I was doing in the city, because I returned to it in 1999. And I knew it was not the Calcutta that I had encountered through New York in 1979 and that I had encountered as a child or while growing up. So I was trying to figure out why I and other people, who were these other people who lived in Calcutta and why we were there in this particular city, which had been defined by certain changes that had taken in the mid-19th century, certain definitive changes to the culture. So that became an inquiry into what I was doing there, that city. That is, I as a modern, what am I doing in this city? And in a world where modernity has been destroyed, middle class modernity and its particular rather fragile space, maybe its cocooned space, has been destroyed in Calcutta through a variety of reasons, through long years of the left front, but in most of the world by that time by capitalism. Capitalism had destroyed that particular space of culture and modernity. So what were we doing? How do we continue to live and create? I think was the subliminal question in that book. So that's the second phase in which I see Calcutta, connected in a way to a phase I see in the world as I've experienced it, a second phase. Yeah.